Alrighty, what is going on, guys? It's Vay here today, coming to you with the 1000 subscriber Q&A. And I'm actually so excited to record this because I haven't recorded a Q&A in a little over 4 years. And the last video I actually did was with, if you guys remember Sensical, I actually recorded it with him. It was just the audio, but me and him went back and forth with questions, and it was just a ton of fun. And I expect the same thing for this video. So, let's get started. But before we dive into the entire Q&A, I just wanted to sit down for a minute and thank you guys seriously for 1000 subscribers. It seemed impossible for my channel to hit it just because my channel was growing at such a slow pace, and as I upload every other few months because of the edits that I do, it just was going really slow, and I was just afraid I wasn't going to hit it. But once I uploaded green lights to my channel, the subs just kept coming through, and then one day I woke up to 1000 subscribers. So I just wanted to seriously thank you guys for that. But let's dive in. By the way, I should mention that if you guys don't follow me on Twitter already, it is probably the absolute best way to get in contact with me if you're doing it through DMs or tweets or whatever. But my @ is @NorthVay. I have yet to change it. I'm waiting to join another team before I do, so that is why. But let's get started. I said I'd be doing a 1000 subscriber Q&A, and since I hit it today, which was on April 19th, I think now would be a good time to start collecting questions. Leave your questions with hashtag Vay1K in the replies, and I'll retweet this tweet throughout the week to collect as many as I can. Oh boy, here we go. First question comes from Flyer, very good friend of mine. He said hashtag Vay1K. How does it feel to get killed out of your Arc Strider every time you use it? For those who don't know what that means, there's a super ability in Destiny 2 called the Arc Strider. It's for the Hunter class, and I tend to use it at the wrong times a lot. Flyer? Fuck you. Next question, coming from Saint Phoenix, saying, how does it feel to get backpacked in trials? Man, you guys, man, this hurts. This fucking hurts. Sometimes I do good in trials, sometimes I do bad, and then again it is on PC, and you run into cheaters quite a lot. But it happens, man. It happens. Also, what's your favorite edit you've made? Oh man, that's a good question. I think it'd either have to be How or Green Lights. I'm kind of biased on Green Lights though because it was for Obey. He also said, gonna nab AVL's question too. What's your favorite edit of mine? To be completely honest, that preview of Teamtage 6 for Stable 7 that you sent in the editor's chat, I think that's gonna be your best edit. Next question, coming from Sour, saying, okay, so this one's a two-parter one. What are your thoughts on / reason on why you edit in 26 FPS? I actually have a good explanation for this, and if you guys know, or if you didn't know, I went from Vegas to AE whenever I edited. I synced clips in Vegas, and then I transferred the footage over to After Effects, which took a lot longer than it should have. But yeah, I'm full AE now, so I don't have to do that anymore. But that's the entire reason I did it to begin with, was because the 26 FPS was the only frame rate that would actually, you know, go over to After Effects without any issues. I did 24, 30, and so on, and it just wouldn't match up with the right frame rate, so that's why I did that. And second, why does your @ still have North in it when you're not in North? I explained this at the beginning of the video, Sour. Waiting to join another team, and until then, it's going to stay North Vay. Also, another question from Sour. Why are you so gay? You're fucking hilarious. Next question, coming from Obey AVL. Favorite edit of mine? A moment apart, without a doubt. And also, what are your future goals that you'd like to achieve? If you're talking about in real life stuff, I want to go to college for motion design, just with my current living situation and with the stuff I have going on in my life at the moment. I can't really do that, although that is something I really want to do, is go to college for motion design. Next question, coming from Saint Supreme. North Best of 2019. Favorite part out of the 3? Which did you enjoy most? Can't say all, must be one of the 3 parts. This man has been asking me this question since the video came out, and I never gave him a direct answer, and I guess I have to now. I'm gonna have to say part 1, and I'm a little biased on it because I got to work on it with you. That intro sequence is still my best to date. I think it'll be pretty hard to top if I do decide to make another one. Fade asks, what if I kissed you right now? Hashtag Vay1K. Next question coming from Fade. What's your favorite edit of mine? That's a really good question. I'm gonna have to go on your YouTube real quick and look this up. Okay, so Fade, I know you're watching this. I'm looking at your channel right now, and I'm gonna be honest, I haven't watched anything besides for the last one that you made for North, which was Rules for MKZ. So I'm gonna have to go with that one. Next question coming from Vestria/Justin. He said, hey mate, my question would be, if you could pick anyone in the world to work on a dream project with, who would it be? Also, congrats on 1K. Oh man, my friend's gonna hate me for this, but honestly, working on a music video for either Starset or Corilla would be a dream come true, as they're both my favorite band. That would be pretty fucking cool. And Corella still follows me on Twitter, so that's I mean, it's a possibility, but I guess we'll find out soon. Serene asks, can you make Andy do a funny dance for the video, please? Hashtag Vay1K. Got you. Hold up.
What will I even do?
Just do the floss from Fortnite or something.
Go fuck yourself.
just do it. All right. You yeah. Thank you. You happy, Serene? You better be happy. Next question coming from Vice Pills. Can I see your peen? Hashtag Vay1K. Next question coming from Rel the editor. Who's your favorite editor of all time, or what's your favorite edit of all time? This is a really, really good question. As of right now, I think my favorite edit of all time is still Introducing Red Plasma by Tyrant. I might get some flack for that, but considering it's a console edit, but that's okay. Who's your favorite editor of all time? I don't want to be biased on this, but I feel like I might have to. I'm gonna have to say Tyrant. Next question coming from Obey Trickstar. He said, what made you first start editing? Honestly, back in, I want to say MW2 and in BO2, I was a player. Yeah, I hit clips, surprisingly. We had no one to edit the clips, so I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna download Vegas and do this myself. 8 years ago, I got on my laptop, downloaded Vegas, and kind of just sparked everything from there. Next question coming from Tony IN, and he said, top 3 editors that you like. Hashtag Vay1K. I'm gonna have to go through my favorite edits playlist real quick. Ooh, I have a good answer for this. Okay, so 1 would be Tyrant, 2 would be Pride, and 3, and I think 3 would probably be Dreams. I know he quit. If we're talking about like just of all time, then yeah. Next question coming from Dream Souls. You guys know who this is. This is Frizzy. He asks, how large is your wang? Next question coming from Frizzy, saying, is Frizzy your boyfriend? Hashtag Vay1K. No. Next question coming from Neuro Luke. I haven't talked to this dude in a very long time. He said, hashtag Vay1K, can we get an updated meme? Man, what was I thinking when I took this picture? This was one of those pictures where you take it and think you're being funny, but in reality it's not funny at all. So no, we cannot get an updated meme of that. Next question coming from Marv Spire, and he said, favorite Pokemon? I haven't played Pokemon since I was a kid. I was really into Pokemon whenever I was growing up. Whenever my stepbrother introduced me to COD, my interest just kind of flopped over to that. If I did have a favorite Pokemon, it would probably have to be Palkia. What was it? Pearl version for the Nintendo DS, and I played the absolute shit out of that. Next question coming from Levy, said, what's your favorite COD to edit? I think I'm gonna pick a top 3. So MW2, BO2, no, I'm gonna get some shit for this, but MW. And MW, the only reason is because the gun sounds are actually very, very good for being a new gen COD. They're probably some of my favorite SFX that have ever been in Call of Duty games. Next question coming from my brother that danced in the video for Serene, and he said, Mannequin or Starset? Which one do you enjoy more? If you guys don't know who Mannequin is actually Dustin Bates. And Dustin Bates is the lead singer of Starset. He did an alter ego type of thing and made his own electronic disco wave type of album on his new alias called Mannequin. He also does Starset still. Honestly, I'm probably gonna have to go with Starset. I really like the heavy stuff that Starset is still doing, and Telekinetic is still one of my favorite songs from Divisions. Next question coming from one of my best friends, Jake, and he said, what's something you're the most proud of overcoming in your life, and what's the biggest thing you've learned from our friendship? Man, this is a good question. Probably there's something I'm most proud of overcoming in my life. I know this is gonna sound sad, but don't make it sad, please. Probably whenever my parents separated back in 2009, I was in middle school at the time when that happened, and I was in denial with a bunch of stuff, and that shit sucked. But I got through it, and I'm really glad I did. And what's the biggest thing you've learned from our friendship? Honestly, I'm gonna say to not judge a book by its cover. I know that sounds super cringy, but if you guys don't know, my friend Jake, who I just answered this question from, has a disability. Whenever we first met, we just kind of, talked and shit. We were both nervous to meet each other whenever we had first met each other. I'm really glad that we are still friends. Next question coming from KYP Antidote, and he said, hashtag Vay1K, what's the craziest story you have? Oh man. Whenever I got this question, I was honestly thinking of something that I could tell for this Q&A, but the craziest thing I could think of was whenever I was really young. Me, my parents, and my siblings decided it was a great idea to go camping out in our backyard. And this was in the middle of summer. I can't remember what year it was, but I was just being myself and messing around and shit. And I was a little clumsy at the time, and I had tripped out of the tent that we put up in our backyard. And as I tripped out of it, my dad specified that my arm fell to the ground, and the half of my arm came up, and the rest of it was still on the ground, and that indicated that I had broken my arm, but I didn't know it because, you know, I was too young at the time. I broke my arm by tripping out of a tent when I was younger, so yeah, that's probably one of the craziest stories I have. Next question coming from Resi HD. He said, do you still talk to the guys from NOS way back when? Hashtag V1K. This is actually a really good question. The only person probably that I talk to from OG NOS every day now is Zemph, and we talk every day. We've talked every day for like the past, 6 or 7 years. I've met him back in 2013, and we've kept in touch ever since. We're friends on Facebook, and we've had those situations where, you know, we've blocked each other on Twitter and unfollowed each other, and got into fights and shit. But he's one of my best friends and someone I consider a brother. Last question coming from Star G, and he said, if you could bring back any team, what would it be? All right, I'm gonna put this question in 2 parts because I know people are gonna get pissed at me if I don't. So my first answer would be Red, for the sole reason of the Red House, because I enjoyed that series so much, and there was just so much content that came out from that team, or specifically Gandhi in general, and I would kill for a season 4 of the Red House. That shit was just too funny. For the sniping community purposes, Exalt, and I know they came back kinda for the duration of the quarantine with this whole coronavirus shit that's going on right now. If you were talking about a team coming back permanently, definitely Exalt. And I think that is it for this Q&A. To those that asked any questions, thank you. I plan on doing something like this again in the future, maybe for 2K, maybe for, you know, another milestone, who knows. So if you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment if you want, and yeah, it's been Vay, guys. Later.